10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Cold and Static. I am your co-host X. This is my co-host Nate. What up, big dog?
Yo, 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 what up, man? It's good to be back. It's good to be back. Let's do it.
Definitely good to be back, man, on a beautiful, beautiful Saturday night. I don't know what it's like down there where you at, big dog, but up here, the weather's been all right for me today. You know what I mean? I was able to get out a little bit, have a little time with my daughter and stuff like that. We had a little father-daughter day and whatever like that. So it's been a nice Saturday. I definitely needed it. You know what I mean? What about you?
I ain't gonna lie, man. It's an eventful day, you know, but it was good.
Okay, okay. And I guess as a good segue, the reason why I stated that I needed this Saturday, with baby girl was burnout, and that's the topic of tonight because sometimes when all you do is grind and grind and grind and work and work and work and bills and kids and family and just the stresses of life, um sometimes just punching the clock every single day, it can really set a toll on you mentally, which obviously trickles down to physically, emotionally. You tend to kind of lash out at people when you don't need to or don't want to. And me and Nate, we were going to kind of touch up on how we deal with this thing called burnout. And like I say, this is just how we deal with it. Not saying this is what you have to do, but these are like we always do. We always just try to give out tips and kind of keep it a little bit transparent with what we do to keep us motivated or keep us pushing. Um, Big Nate, when was the last time you ever felt burnt out, man? Just where you was just like, you know what, this is becoming too much for me.
Mm. mm, mm. I'm gonna be real with you, man. Honestly, when it comes to burnout, I think that's something that I've experienced on and off for like the last couple of years. Um, and normally it's like, dog, it's like you're going, and then there's just that moment where you hit that breaking point, right? You hit that moment where you're just like, I can't no more. Like I'm just one person. And reality sets in, and you feel like you just want to literally just fly away or disappear for a little minute. And I don't know. For everybody, I think it's different. For me, I had that moment. It probably lasts for like maybe like I would say maybe for like a day. It really depends. And I'm able to talk myself out of it. I'm able to reassess and say, okay, let me go about it this way. Let me switch up. Like that's one thing I've learned in life is that you always gotta take the time to take the time to mourn, right? But
Yeah.
know that joy is coming in the morning.
Hmm.
So you gotta mourn with purpose, and you gotta know that hey, like I like to say, you got knocked down. That last punch really hurt. It took the wind out of you. And you're laying on this mat, and you feel like you're done, but you gotta just take a minute there. Take a minute. Like don't get up right away. Just take a minute, soak it all in, and then get up. And then when you get up with purpose, get up with a new drive, get up saying, you know what, I was doing it. I was doing it the wrong way. Now I'm gonna do it differently.
Facts.
Normally how I deal with it, and I like to be conscious of how I feel. I like to be transparent. I like to acknowledge how I feel, and I like to do that. And I think that that's a huge thing that a lot of people don't do. They tend to push their feelings to the side and they tend to push these things to the side because they feel like if they tap into those emotions, or if they let those emotions in, then what happens is it's going to interfere with their process of grinding, or it's going to make them somehow human. It's like a kryptonite. But for me, I embrace it. I fully embrace it because at times I need to know that I'm human. I need to know that I can't hold the whole world on my shoulders.
Yeah.
We're not meant for that either. We're not meant for that. We're not built for that. Um, so I like to definitely just take a minute, take a step back, reassess, definitely pray about it. There's a saying that we say in Putting Down Giants network,
Mm.
that is awake, pray, conquer, repeat.
I like that. Awake, prayer, conquer, repeat.
Yep. Gotta wake up, pray about it, then you execute, you conquer, and then from there it's just you just gotta do it all over again, you know?
I
Um,
like that. I like that. Yeah, for me, man, my whole thing is predicated on like isolation. Um, I mean, I guess I'll give you an example. Like the last month has just been mentally draining for me. Especially like being in leadership, man. And decoding static is definitely a therapeutic outlet for me to kind of get it out. And I think having someone to talk to about the things that you're going through is very, very helpful, whether it's a spouse or a therapist or a friend, just somebody you can just say, man, look, this is what's going on at work, or this is what's going on at home, or whatever it is that just got you just got your wheels spinning. You just can't seem to get away from it because eventually you'll start having headaches, you'll start having health problems. These things will just creep up on you slowly because it's constantly just you just constantly harping on these things. And this was just things that I just could not get out of my own head. Um, and also, like you were saying about grinding, just going to work every single day, you know, having to just go to a job where it's just draining you and you just like, oh my God, I'm back here. I'm not happy. I
yeah,
would say isolation is what helps me. Kind of getting away from the issue at hand, like separating yourself, having a couple of days off, like even like today and tomorrow, just having them 2 days in between to just kind of decompress and disassociate myself with what I'm stressed about. I like how you said, pray about it. Obviously, gonna give it to God for sure. Um, and like I say, just taking yourself out of that situation, trying to do other things, to kind of like get you thinking in a more positive way. Pick up a hobby or something like that. Pick up some kind of like, I don't know, go for a walk, take a little mini staycation or just do something that, takes you out of that mental aspect of what you were doing to get you there in the first place. Um, but yeah, man, I definitely agree. I mean, but I ask you this. What do you think about when people say the word grinding? Oh man, I just been grinding. I just been grinding. I just been grinding. Like you said, we're not built for this. Like, why do we feel the need? Why do we associate the word grinding with success? You know what I mean? Are
because
we supposed to grind or does it supposed to feel like a grind? You know what I mean? Like, I get the word work hard. I get when you work hard, but when you think of like grind, I'm in grind mode. I'm just gonna grind and grind and grind. And it's like, is that how you really want to live life? Just grinding?
very good point, and I think that we've gotten that from the entertainment industry. Obviously, they're the ones who pose the phrase. You know, so people just they overburden themselves, but we forget that we need rest. Rest is so important.
Hmm.
Somebody once wrote on Facebook, "Oh, what's the number one thing you learned in 2025?" And I put balance is everything in life. And they were like, "Is it though?" And I'm like, I'm not even about to jump down that rabbit hole with you because I feel like if you don't know that, then ooh, you're gonna find out the hard way. You know,
Yeah.
balance is everything. We were we have to have balance. There has to be spiritual balance. There has to be, um, emotional balance. There has to be even our bodies. Do you realize that our bodies have to be at a physical balance? Like all these levels that we maintain must be properly balanced. If
Yes.
it goes slightly higher than the other, it could put us at risk for something. So in life, everything is balanced, right? They tell you that it's not really. The truth is that a lot of things that we eat, yes, they are bad for you.
Hmm.
We eat it with moderation, balance. They're not as bad, but there's. But if you eat it every day, then it's terrible. You know what I mean? It's gonna jack you up. I think
Facts.
we need to balance out the grinding. Shout out to Bums INF from God Over Money. He has a song called Seasons on his album, which is Vent Sessions. Great album. If you guys have not heard it, you should check it out. It's called Vent Sessions and it's by Bums INF. And he has a song
Okay.
Seasons on there. And, you know, the chorus, and I'm paraphrasing, the chorus is like, so many things to do, so little time. Um, Let me just rest while the rest of y'all grind, you know. Um, and he's like how talks about how society, how we're grinding, and how he goes into the fact that rest is important. Like, you know, we got to learn to tell people no. Like sometimes that's something that I actually came to terms with recently. Like, I need to learn how to say no sometimes. I'm
Yeah.
like, yes, and that's pretty crazy. But balance is having rest and being able to rest. You know, even God took rested. God didn't grind. He didn't say, "Man, I gotta grind. Man, I gotta hurry up and create the universe, bruh." You know, there's some events that need to happen, and man, I need to hurry up and grind. No, he made the earth in 7 days, but what did he do? He rested on that. He rested. He took time to rest and
Facts.
look and not only rest. He didn't just say that he just rested and did nothing, but what did he do? It says that he rested and he observed the work that he did and said that it was
Sat back there and took it all in. Like, okay.
good. There you go. That's it. So when we rest, we're allowing our minds to catch up and to look back at the work that we have done and reassess it truthfully with ourselves. So that way, when we begin to work again, we can be a better version of ourselves. That's why. That's the reason why people, you got people who have been, working, and it's like they don't change. And you're just like, how can you? How is it you've been working for so long and you've never changed this? It's a grind. Like that grind, it hurts people. It makes people.
Yep.
It basically it forms bad habits. It forms bad habits. I mean, don't get me wrong. Consistency and perseverance is two things that I pray for every day. 'Cause I'm not the best at being consistent. I'm not the best at persevering through stuff. So I get that. Consistency is different from the grind. I think consistency, a lot of people means consistency is always at 100. But guess what? Even if you're maintaining at 50% and you're maintaining that, then you're still being consistent. But I think the idea that people have is that we constantly got to be at 100. What was that famous statement go? All gas, no
No breaks
until you hit a brick wall, right?
till you hit a brick wall.
And
I mean, just because you're going at 100% doesn't mean you're being productive.
guess
There's
what? Brick wall
there's
is
di-
burnout.
yep. There's a difference between going 100 miles an hour and being productive too. Because like they say, steady wins the race. I'm a read this statistic real quick on why it matters. 83% of workers prioritize work life balance over pay when choosing jobs. 83% of workers prioritize work life balance over pay when choosing a job. That means that they want to make sure that, I'm not going to compromise with having weekends off or working overnight or working 12s versus 8s because they're like, you know what? I'd rather be home with my family versus grinding to get a check because I want the max amount of money. That's 83%. Poor balance drives 31% of people to quit, more than pay at 16%. Burnout rates up 25% since 2022. You know, Gen Z slash millennials lead this shift. Only 6% prioritize leadership roles, flexibility, and mental health top demands. It's really a lot of the younger people who, I don't know if you ever noticed this, the young people these days don't really care to be in leadership. Like
Notice,
a lot of the young people just want to come to work and, get on up out of there. They
yeah,
don't want to be leaders. They don't want to take care of nobody. They don't want to look after. They don't care to move up. They want to get paid, but they don't care. You ain't gonna make a young person run into that wall
not at all. Not
like an old school person. I don't know if it's like old school values or and we're loyal. We are so loyal. Old school people are so loyal to a company, man. I don't know what it is, but these young folk, man, they find a job next week.
yeah, it's true. I think we grew up differently because I think when we started a job, we intended to give our all,
Yeah.
regardless of what, because we understood the value of a job. But these young people are like, man, I can quit. I can just get one next week. It don't matter.
Yep.
Like to them, it's not a big deal. It's just like it's a whole technicality thing. It's just like, oh, I'm not gonna be there the rest of my life. It's just this store. It's just Target. I'm like, what does it matter? I'm not. That's not where I'm gonna be the rest of my life. So why should I put 100? Why should I do that? But it's just like the thing that they're not realizing is that while you're doing that, you're forming a lot of bad work habits, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
when we talk about, you know, we talk about praying for stuff and we talk about God giving it to you and you not being ready yet for it or stuff like that. It's like, how do you expect to be a millionaire? How do you expect to be, how do you expect to be this and be that when you don't know how to show up every day or you don't know how to give? You don't know what it's like to persevere through hard times at work because the minute every time hard times fell, you quit and got another job. You've never
Yep.
you've never challenged. So what you think's gonna happen? If you think that just because they're writing you a check for all this money, do you really think that challenges are gonna go away? You gonna have
Nope.
to persevere for it. And now, now you're gonna be at a stage where you gotta force yourself to persevere in a much more deadlier water, so to speak, because now you out there with sharks, alligators, you out there with all the predators that are in the world.
And ain't gonna know how to swim.
Yep.
Ain't gonna know how to get up out of there.
Because you've always been reliant on, oh man, look, why I didn't learn how to swim, bro? Because the boat right there. They come pick you up. They see you struggle. They see you struggling. They just come get you. Okay.
And they pedaling. That
So
is so true.
now you got to deal with the sharks. And now and that's why we see a lot of, young people who go to NBA, they go to all these sports. Why do you think that they they lose their fame real quick and it's over dumb decisions that they make because nobody ever sat down to teach them the value, what it means to, okay, you're gonna get this amount of money, but let's talk about work ethic. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how you present yourself because these are things that are gonna help you last a long time after all the hype is over. Because the real work, it's easy to work in the hype. It's easy to work in the hype. The real work begins when there's no hype and you
Yep.
motivate yourself. That's real work right there. It's like relationships. When y'all in that lovey dovey stage, everything's easy. But the minute y'all start getting some issues and you start battling through some issues, that's when you really are learning about your spouse. That's when you really are is putting your love to the test.
Yeah, that's what I
That's
tell people. It's easy in the beginning. It's after years and years and years of being together, trying to keep that flame going and trying to, just develop your relationship. And it's like, okay, when the fire hits the when you when your foot hits the fan, what's gonna happen? Are
Mhm.
y'all gonna stick through it, or y'all just gonna give it up? Because I tell people a lot of times, man, people these days they look at relationships just like 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 leaves on a tree. It just wind blow, they gone.
Just sing it. If it works out, whatever. If it doesn't, then okay.
I'm just, yeah, right, right. It's like, I mean, I can go find me another one. I'm like, damn, I guess you didn't really think of that person like that. I guess you didn't really love that person like that. If it's that easy for you to just leave like that, then did you really love them in the first place? You know, because when you truly are in love with someone, man, it ain't that easy to just walk away. You're gonna think about that person every single day. But yeah, like it's a lot.
You
It's
know,
a lot.
and it's like, Annie Mineo said too in one of his songs, like "Uncomfortable," and he was like, "They want us to grind," and he was like, "You can call me a cabbie because I got everybody in the back seat." Like, and he
Mm,
was trying to say like the grind is basically selfish. He was like, "You got everybody in the back seat like you a cabbie." Um, you know, you don't even want God to take to lead you.
mm,
Got everybody, he back there with everybody too, because the grind is selfish. To grind, you got to be selfish. You got to be like, I'm looking out for me and myself. I'm looking out for this, and that's what the world teaches people that they need to do to survive. We see it in movies, and we see it
sports.
where people, you have to step on somebody. You gotta be selfish in order to do it. So what people don't understand is that helping people out and lifting people up is just as powerful, if not more, than going out there and trying to sell and say, "Oh, I got this." You know what I'm saying? Or
Hmm.
just being on your grind and just getting you and doing you. But it's just like, are you elevating anybody with that grind?
That's true.
Are you elevating? Are you helping anybody, or is it selfish? Is it just you and then that's it?
I mean, they say to be truly great, you gotta be a little selfish. If you really want to be one of the best. I mean, think about it like Kobe, Mamba mentality. You got to lock in. You
Hmm.
got to lock in. You have to sacrifice, and you have to kind of like. There's a lot of things that you used to do that you can't do no more. A lot of your homeboys that want you to, hey man, let's go and go to the spot, and hey, I gotta study, man. I gotta, I'm in tonight. I gotta look at these books. I gotta work. I gotta, I do get it to a certain degree when they say, okay, you have to be a little bit selfish.
Oh yeah.
Just because if you gave your time to everybody, man, you would have no time to get anything done.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I tell people all the time, hit me when I'm in the car. Because if you don't hit me when I'm in the car, you might not get me. Because I'm always doing something. And then when I'm not doing anything, this is just me. If I'm not doing anything, it's because I just don't want to do anything. It has
Hmm.
nothing against you. If
Yep.
you call me and I don't answer, it's probably because I got about 5 or 10 minutes to myself and I just want to enjoy it. And you probably called me at a time where
That's it.
that was it. That's all I had. And it's like, it has nothing to do with you. It's just I go to work and then I come home and then I got this, I got that, I got the kids, and like I say, if I'm in the car, because yeah, I ain't gonna even lie. Sometimes when I'm in the car, I don't even want to talk. Cause now I listen to my music. Now I'm probably
Yeah,
hitting up a podcast or you know what I
yeah,
mean? I'm very extroverted, but at the same time I'm very introverted too. It's weird. You know,
no,
I'm a mixture of both.
me too. I'm there with you. Like I'm the same way. Like I feel like for me, and that's why like I do get it. I do get that you have to be. I believe you can be set apart. I think and I think that the way I look at it is you can be set apart and still grinding versus being selfish and grinding. And I just feel like and the reason why I put the two, what you're doing is you're taking time to yourself. I don't think that's being selfish. That's owed to you. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But when I'm talking about
I
selfish,
like that. That's
uh,
owed to me. I appreciate that.
hey, that's yours, bro. You worked hard for it. You earned that. That's part of the salary is being able to come home and have a moment to yourself. It's like, hey, you've been putting in work. You deserve to have a break.
I appreciate it, man. Sitting in the driveway, just
You deserve
I'm
that.
just gonna sit right here in this driveway for about 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, we deserve that. We work hard. That's what we deserve rest. We deserve to have rest.
Yeah,
Owed to us. It's in the fine print. And to tell you how silly it is, how many people would go to their job and say, you know what? I want to forfeit all my lunches and all my breaks.
nobody.
Nobody, because they understand the importance of taking breaks while they're at work. But yet in our real life, we don't do that.
We don't take enough breaks.
We don't take breaks and we don't take lunches, even though they're owed to us and they're fully paid for by the blood, sweat, and tears that we've put out there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Rest is made for us. It's in the fine print. It's owed to us, and we forfeit it because we say the grind is better. And again, going back to what I was saying about the selfish part, that's not being. I don't think that's being selfish at all. But what I call being selfish on the grind is when you are so wrapped up in your grind where you can't help anybody around you
hmm.
need help.
I get it. Being
When
able to lift other people up too.
yeah, you can't lift other people up. You got so much blinders on because you're grinding that people around you could be suffering and you're missing all the verbal cues. You don't know nothing. You don't care about nothing because you're only about your grind.
Yeah,
That's when I say that's selfish.
I got you.
That's selfish. You know what I mean? Taking time to yourself and resting and saying, you know what? Today when I come home from the work, the phone's being turned off, being thrown in the drawer. That's owed to you, brother. You deserve that. You deserve to have a moment with your wife and your kids without being bothered. You know, no
Best
one,
feeling in
no
the world.
one should be able to take that away from you at all. They shouldn't have anything to say about it. You know,
Yeah, I definitely needed that this weekend for sure.
yeah,
This weekend in particular, for sure. I had people at the job looking at me like, "Are you okay? Like, are you okay?" I was like, "If you can see it on my face, then I must not have been okay. I appreciate you checking in on me." And like I say, this is just me, just kind of stepping back from the month, and it's crazy because yeah, I feel like it's gonna start up on Monday because I got more things to deal with on Monday when I get back, but just for right now, I'm just like, you know what? I'm not gonna think about it. I'm just gonna relax. I'm just gonna, enjoy myself.
take that breather. Take that.
Take that. Yeah, man. Take that breather.
Just take it in, man. Just take it in, knowing that you know what I'm saying. Like one day is gonna be different. You know what I mean? Like one day, it's just everything's gonna work together the way it does.
Yeah.
I definitely hear you, man. Because I was like that Friday, and people were like, "What's wrong?" And I even said something to somebody, and they came off like I was snapping at them, and they were like, "Are you okay?" They're like, "Man, calm down." I'm like, "No, I'm good, man. Like you know, I'm feeling kind of blah." So I told them like I was fine coming into work. But when I got here, I was like, blah, you know.
As soon as you see the building.
And they know me being energetic and stuff like that, and trying to hype everybody up. And I just didn't have me yesterday. I just didn't, you know.
That's crazy.
I had to conserve all my energy to give to the people I was calling because, and that's where again you got to make a decision. What's going to benefit more? Yeah, I'm sorry, coworkers, I can't be that guy for y'all today because I need to conserve whatever energy I have, so that way when I hop on these phones, I can try to, you know, I can try to make money, or I can try to make, some moves, some really good moves that I need to make. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
because I'm sure they could tell in your voice. They could tell when you just being like, versus actually putting, forth the effort. It's crazy. You be good all morning, and then as soon as you see the building, your whole just makeup just come down. Just
Yep.
gotta go on here. Here we go.
I'll be real with you. Like everybody's real cool there. Like I don't have a reason to really hate it, but I think I don't know. There was something that came over me, and I know what it was, and it was just from that grind, bro. For 7 weeks, just that grinding out for 7 weeks, paying attention, giving that all my attention, and whatever I had left was divided between family, church, and school. Like, and seeing how I was getting so close or missing the mark or what, it's like I had a point where I was just like, man, I'm tired. Like I'm tired. I think I hit the wall. Like I'm tired, man. Like it's a lot right now. And
Yeah,
that's something that we all got to recognize is when we hit the wall and recognize when to say, you know what? Yeah, I hit the wall.
yeah.
Yeah.
You get on autopilot and you realize, like, wait a minute, why am I tired? I just because you just been going and going and going. You're like, wait a minute, I need to chill out for a little bit. This
Right.
this is this is becoming too much. I'm losing myself in this process.
And that's
And the worst thing you want to do is lash out at somebody because, like you said, they know you a certain way, and then all of a sudden you snap into something else that's not even you, all because of the burnout, all because of your stress, because you're tired. And then when somebody come to you who is, who's used to you in a certain way, they be like, "Whoa, you good, big dog?" You're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. It's been a long week, bro." And it'll get you to that point.
that's it. And the thing about it is too, even more about it is that people. This thing when you get in that mode, you get your emotions begin to rise and take over. And you can make some real dumb decisions based on that. You know, it's one of the things where I think I think that you have to take a step back and say, "All right, God, like I need you to take some of the wheel. Like I need you to really take some of the wheel, and I need you to take over because I'm losing it. I'm losing it right now. I'm losing control. I'm losing everything, and you got to give him the wheel. That's why it says you got to give it. We got to give it up to him. There's so much that we have to let go to him because human beings, we were not meant to tackle this stuff. We were not meant to deal with this stuff. And I think this is one of those things where you just got to recognize. And again, it comes down to, and I'll bring another song up. It's by Fort Minor, or AKA Mike Shinoda. Um, it's called
That's old school right there. Fort Minor.
um, so Fort Minor got a song. Slip out the back. That's what it's called. Slip out the back. And there's a part in there where he says you got to know when to fold your cards, and then you got to know when to hold your cards, stack the deck. You know, and that's just it. And he was like, even heroes know, he said, slip out the back before they know you were there. At the worst, you'll see nobody cares because when it all falls down, even heroes know when to be scared. And
Mm.
like,
I gotta check that out.
And the way I looked at, and I love that song so much, bro, because I believe sometimes like it spoke to me like literally I'm like that hero, and sometimes like I'm just like, you know what, I'm scared, man, but I gotta keep grinding. And I think that's all of us. I think all of us want to be the hero, but and we get those emotional moments where like, I just gotta keep grinding. I gotta keep grinding. I gotta keep grinding. I can't afford to be emotional right now, but we actually do. But the thing is that when we let those emotion from the grinding, burnout brings in intense emotions, and it brings in sometimes emotions where we don't even know what we're saying. We don't even know how we're acting. Like you said, we go to that place and we don't even know we went to that place. But to everybody else who knows us, who sees us daily, they're like, "Wait a second, you never was like this. What's going?
Yeah.
What's going on, my boy?" You know, they ask, "Hey, is everything okay? What's wrong?" And you're like, "Yeah, I'm good. I appreciate it."
It's because you're not trusting God. That's all it is. Like you were saying, you got to give it up. How many times have we had moments where we were supposed to give it all to God, but we just won't because we don't trust Him? And it's not that you would say I don't trust Him out loud. It's just you with your actions, you don't
Right.
trust Him because you don't give it up to Him because you're not praying because you're still grinding and trying to fix everything on your own. If you truly trust Him and you had that faith, you would dial it back and say, all right, Lord, this is yours and I'm going to give it to you and I'm going to let you do as you will, but I think that it comes down to that. You're not giving your trust into him, like you said. And I think moving forward, hey, it's what is it? March 1st of the month, Sunday, first Sunday is yours, Lord. Because from this day forth, man, I speak into existence. It is yours. This battle is not mine, said
That's
the
right.
Lord. It is yours. So I'm just putting that in the air right now. I'm affirming myself as well, and to say this will not bind me. This will not hinder me no longer. I will not dwell on my own understanding. I will have faith, from now on. So I rebuke the devil.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm good. I'm good. Cause what was happening, man, I was losing my own happiness. You know what
Mm,
I mean? In this process, in this stressful process. And, I hate that I allowed myself to get to that place. That's what I was really kind of pissed off about is that I let myself, somebody who is happy go lucky and I bring people together and I'm a nurturer and I'm a collective type of person and I allowed situations to get me down, and that's not who I am.
See,
And
that's just the thing. And you knowing who you are, right? And that's
yeah,
just the important thing. You knowing who you are and holding yourself to a higher level. You know that God has called you to something great, and the enemy's gonna test that all day long because that's
yeah,
what he wants to do. He wants to throw you off your grind. He wants to throw you off your steps because he knows that you know who you are. So if he can throw you off your steps and derail you just for a little bit, he knows that that can offset things later. That's in the
yeah.
plan for you. You know what I mean? But I mean, yeah, man. Like you, hey, man. Like you, hey, listen. You handled it. You handled it good, man. No right or wrong way. And I think at the end of the day, we're all human. And honestly, like I always say, some of us are real strong. You're strong. I know I'm strong. But when we do get to those moments where we're feeling it, that's just God right there saying, "All right, homie. I think it's time to throw me the alley oop, bro. I think it's time to give me the ball for the last 10 seconds. Like I let you score all the points the whole game, but I think you need to trust me with these
Hey,
couple seconds.
you can have it. Right there where you want it. You want it up high, you want to bounce pass, I get it any kind of way you want it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. So I appreciate it, man. Any closing remarks or anything you want to put out there before we?
honestly, I'll say this. You know, we just we have to be conscious of. We just gotta be conscious, man. We just gotta be real conscious about how we go about living this life and the things that we put in priority, the things that we grind and we serve to, because that ultimately is gonna be our master, whatever has most of our attention, you know. And I think sometimes we have wants and needs, and I think a lot of people, their grinding is for a good reason. They want to take care of their family, they want to have generational wealth, maybe they want to get out,
Yeah.
and I totally respect that. And you know, I've always been one of those people who are I'm not motivated by money. Every decision I make isn't motivated by money. Um, and it's weird to a lot of people. That's weird because they're like, "How do you live with how is that even possible?" And I'm like, because you know what? They've put price tags on this stuff for a very long time and told us that this is how much it's worth. When whenever you sit down and you have the opportunity to talk to somebody and you're able to speak life into them, I think that's a priceless moment.
Mm.
That's a priceless moment. And I think that if we looked at it like that, like every interaction we have with somebody is a priceless moment where you could change your life.
Like they say, the best things in life are free.
And let me tell you, man, it's just like what you'd realize is that you're lifting somebody up through the grind. But a lot of times, like I said, we got those blinders on, so we can't see the people who are in need around us because we got our blinders on. But sometimes
Right.
we gotta take them off, and we got to slow down, and we gotta give God the reins. There's a scripture verse that says, you know, he says, we put bits in the horse's mouth to turn it whichever way we want, you know. Um, and just as and it talks about taming the tongue, and it talks about the tongue. And but the thing I like about that part is that when it says we put bits in the horse's mouth to turn him where we can. And
Mm.
listen, we do that because we know that the horses will get distracted by every little thing they see, and they won't get us where we need to go in tip top shape. I think sometimes we just gotta take the blinders off too, and just not just worry about getting to a destination, but enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey to that destination, because there's things that we maybe can learn in that time that we weren't learning before. And sometimes when we speed up and we're just on this grind and we're doing that, we're losing a lot of good just a lot of good feedback and a lot of things from a lot of people. We're losing a lot of what makes this thing unique and so important to us.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think that for most of us, our why isn't the money. Our why is for our families, for our children, or whoever. So I think that at the end of the day, as long as we keep that why in perspective, right? And when we talk to people, we we're speaking to them not because of the money. And I guess I'm talking about primarily for me and my job. You know,
Yeah.
'cause we do retention, which is kind of like sales. And I think sometimes these people go in there and they try to look at them like it's another sales opportunity. But for me, I'm like, I just want to help people. And people are like, well, how are you doing so good on your calls? And I'm like, I'm not trying to sell them anything. I'm just trying to help them and try to have some good conversation, getting to know them, and just allowing yourself to do that is a very powerful thing. And I think that once we get to and it goes back to that word you're talking about, being content. I think
Yeah.
once we are content, and once we know where we know our purpose in life, we know where we're going, then our why changes to that. And when our why changes to that, then we'll be able to maintain a lot better and not experience burnout because we're content. We understand we don't need to grind. We don't need to be on it. No, the work is done. Hey, it's happening little by little. Guess what? Let everybody else shine right now because that time is coming slowly but surely. Or it could be next week. It could be next month. Nobody knows. But that time is coming where we are going to get our shine. And we just got to continue just grinding towards it, continue being faithful, continue exercising our faith, continue just allowing the Lord to work in our lives and giving Him the heavy things in our lives that are slowing us down. You know,
Facts. Hey, I love it. I love it.
I do too.
Hey guys, this is another episode of Decoding the Static. That's your boy Nate. I am X, and oh, we taking the hats off, or we?
That's all players do.
Listen. All right, y'all. Till next time.
Yes, sir.
One
Deuces.
deuce.
Static.
Static every single day, all I hear is static. Static every single day, all I hear is static. Static every single day, static every single day, all I hear is static. Static every single day, all I hear is static. Static every single day, all I hear is static. Static.